It's Emily, your manager of leisure services, here trying to learn a little more about leisure. And today I have Maggie Darnell with me. She works for Lansing Parks and Recreation at the Let's Community Center. And so please give a warm welcome to Maggie. Yay! Hello, Maggie.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
Okay, Maggie, so tell us a little bit, what do you do for Lansing Parks and Recreation?
Sure. So I am a programmer. I work at, like you said, Let's Community Center. I do all the teen programming for the city. I focus on senior citizen programming at Let's. We have a food pantry at Let's that I oversee, and just kind of the building itself, making sure that we stay up to date with decorations and maintenance and all that kind of thing.
Excellent. So how long have you worked for us? How long have you worked here?
Well, technically, I started out as an activity leader in April of 2018. So I did a little bit of after school program, and then I worked summer camp of 2018, and then this position as a programmer opened up, and I jumped at the chance to get this job. So I started this position in November of 2019.
Got it. So what did you study? You're a Spartan, right?
Absolutely, go green.
so go white. So what is your degree in?
Parks, recreation, and tourism. Believe it or not, this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Nice. I like to do growing up, or like, part-time jobs or anything. Did you do any kind of Parks and Rec-y kind of stuff?
Oh yeah. So I've been swimming since I was practically born. So I was always in the water. So my very first paying job was a lifeguard. Just being by the pool was always so much fun for me. So getting paid to watch kids in the pool was an easy transition. And then before I went to state, I was an outdoor pool lifeguard, which I really enjoyed. A lot more action, definitely, in an outdoor pool than just lap swim.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then after throughout college, I did the Disney College program where I was also a lifeguard. Believe it or not, they need lots of lifeguards to make sure people are safe.
Yes.
And then my first job after I graduated was as a waterfront director, where I was in charge of lifeguards, which was definitely a nice change of pace.
Yes. Lifeguards, if anybody thinking about jobs, especially younger kids, get your certification. Everyone's always looking for lifeguards. A little less now, just because a lot of pools are closed, but that's going to change. It's a great job, and it's sorely needed. So okay, so you're kind of a smorgasbord of lots of different things, and that's kind of Let's in general. Let's is it's a community center. It's got a lot of social services as well as recreational services. So like you mentioned, we have the food pantry there, the senior programming, but then you mentioned teens. So talk a little bit more about what you're trying to do with the teen programming, and how it's not just at Let's, right?
Nope. So I do teen programming for the whole city, which encompasses, we have weekly teen nights at all the community centers. We've started a teen after school program, which happens at Let's and at Schmidt for our middle and high schoolers, 6th grade and up. And then also we're trying to get into esports and Girls Who Code and really utilize the computer labs that we have at Foster and at Let's, and get people, more active on those. And then for my virtual programming for this summer, since we're not in person, I'm really focusing on a virtual volunteers program, which is still giving teens the opportunity to work on job skills and get work experience, but virtually, since they're not going to be allowed to be at camp. And then we're also focusing on esports, like I said, trying to just figure out what games people are into and how we can make it competitive and more fun and get more people engaged.
Yeah, this pandemic, I think, has brought us, we've always talked about we should look into esports. And this pandemic kind of kicked us in the butt and was figure it out now. So we're all diving deep. I'm asking my 14-year-old for suggestions. It's an interesting world. But the virtual volunteering, I think, is really cool, because it's so a normal volunteering program. The kids are in with the camp and they're learning how to be a camp counselor, assisting the campers, or the campers and the staff.
Yeah.
And obviously that we can't put them in that. So the way you came up with kind of it's like a mentoring program almost through the summer, check in. I think that's really good. And I think
I kind of have this lesson plan figured out where each challenge goes with like kind of the weekly theme. So we still have a chance to meet in our staff meetings, and then we have a chance to like socialize, and I can bring in guest speakers for them, and still feel like we're together even though we're apart. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. Check it out. For seniors, what is that program? What's that like over at Let's?
Sure. So we have a beautiful stainless steel commercial kitchen at Let's. We're very proud of it. It's new to, I think, last year or this year. So the senior program meets every day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We serve meals that are provided by the Tri-County Office on Aging. We serve lunch, a hot lunch every day, a very nutritional lunch. And yeah, so we try to engage them with bingo on Wednesdays, and we have a food distribution, which is a great opportunity for them to get fresh produce, and we do that on Mondays. And then we have arts and crafts on Fridays, and then we also have our gym open in the winter for walking club. But during the summer, we do it outside, so an outdoor walking club, and tracking their miles and just trying to keep them active, keep them entertained. And we're also always open to new suggestions, like a crochet club or a movie club or a book club. Like we have lots of space, and we'd love to expand that program.
Excellent, excellent. We'll talk a little bit about the food bank program. So we have what's called an emergency food pantry. So can you explain kind of what that means and who we serve?
Sure. The Let's Food Pantry serves those that live in the 48915 zip code. We, like I said, have a distribution on Monday. That's open to everybody, but the food pantry itself, if you live in the 48915, you can call and schedule a food appointment if you are in need of food assistance. So you can come visit us once a month. All we require is an ID and a piece of mail that has your address on it. We don't ask any personal questions. We just want to make sure that people in the 48915 can get the food that they need.
So, and is just a bunch of canned goods? Like, what kind of food is it?
So a lot of canned goods, a lot of like pantry staples, but we also provide meat. If we have any leftover produce, obviously we'll throw that in there. Sometimes you can get lucky. Edward, who works at the pantry, we're a huge fan of him. He loves to throw in extra sweets and extra snacks for the kids to make sure they get a little good in them.
I love the program just because I remember when I first started learning about it and we met with the food bank, I was like, we have to be doing this wrong. Like, it's too easy, right? Yeah. And so nothing's supposed to be easy. And they just kind of looked at us and said, we want people to have food. If you're hungry, come have food. And we're not checking your income or anything. It's just you call up, you say you need it, that food's there for you. And I really love the food bank and that program, and just really seeing them and helping them with that mission. I think it's excellent. It's not quite recreation, but hey, you can't think about recreating if you're hungry. So it's important to get that basic need. So Maggie, what's your favorite part of programming or working at Lansing Parks and Recreation? What's your favorite?
That is a loaded question. I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. I think my absolute favorite part is just being able to do like what I love, and be creative and come up with crafts and come up with activities and just try and engage with people. Like, that's what I live for. Like, I want people to, take advantage of the opportunities in their city or just at home and, have fun. And I love that I am able to provide that and make people smile and maybe realize that they can do something that they didn't know they could do before.
So Maggie, one of the things you've been doing that it's not a normal Let's activity for you. I mean, I guess you could do it with the seniors and things, but you've been doing crafts with Maggie, yeah. And we have a class lined up for crafts with Maggie. So we'll end with just you talking a little bit about that class coming up and what kind of things you're thinking about.
Sure. So for the that class starts on June 24th, and there's 2 4-week sessions. So right now, kind of gearing up into that paid craft class, I'm doing a lot of free crafts on Facebook, minimal materials, stuff that you already have at home. But for the arts and rec, I think that's what we're calling it. For arts and rec with Maggie, I'm going to be putting together kits. We're going to have themed crafts that go along with the camp themes. So maybe kids that aren't able to participate in camp this year can still have, that camp feel with a themed activity. And it's not just make a craft. Like, I intend to put, coloring pages. Emily Farrell, we're so lucky to have her, is doing coloring pages. So trying to get a themed coloring page in there, a themed activity, and really make it like a more rounded experience where you're also making something that's super cool and also useful. I'm trying to make these crafts not just things that can be made and, thrown away, but something that you want to present or give to a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or a neighbor, or something that your pet can use, like last week's pet bandana. I think everybody can rock a pet bandana, like whether you have a cat or a hamster, they're adorable. Pepper looks so cute in hers right now.
We'll wrap this up. Maggie, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope one day we will be able to spend time in person. I'm sure we'll get there, but for now, I just appreciate all the things you're doing for us at home and the creativity that you're bringing, and thanks for being part of the team.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be a part of this team, and I also can't wait until we can get back and do this all together.
Yes, definitely. All right, thanks.
Thank you.